A man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy, 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
How could the Pagulas, the family that owns the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Sabres, have fixed the Bills and get them to host a playoff game in the NFL after 20-plus years of futility? But they botched the Sabres?
How about that?
Treat your people well, treat your people well, treat your people well, draft well, have some integrity. Here's your 5. You want to know why some teams are perennially losing? They've forgotten those key concepts.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show, Canada's daytime sports talk show. We are the View for sports fans, and that makes me Whoopi Goldberg and you, Joy Behar.
I'm good with that.
You okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
If your hair gets any longer.
It might be, I know.
You really are going to be.
I know.
You ready to talk sports, have fun?
Oh, yeah.
We're live across all 10 provinces and 31 states on the Game Plus TV network, plus also live on YouTube and Facebook, and that's where we invite your comments as we roll. Big hockey day today. Big hockey day. Alan May will be joining us, Washington Capitals analyst, alum, really good-looking guy. Former Estevan Bruin. He'll be joining us to talk National Hockey League and Mass Mutual Division. John Scott, you guys all remember former NHL All-Star John Scott, all 6'7" of him, host of the Dropping the Gloves podcast. He'll be with us today. And Dustin Nielson from TSN 1260. I'm wearing this Oilers gear in honor of Alan May because it's his hometown, and Dustin Nielson because he's from Edmonton.
Yeah.
Just trying to kiss up to everybody.
I like
today.
it.
Yeah, making friends.
That's a good thing.
That's what we do here. Those are the guests. Who is texting me in the middle of my show? J-Rod. Going to watch the show today. My mood is good.
Well, that's good.
Good to hear, J-Rod. Listen, he's a good buddy of mine, and I got to tell you something. This guy's tough as nails. He's in the Wascana Rehabilitation Center. And what is the affliction that you've been battling, J-Rod? I think it's spina bifida since birth. This guy was supposed to be dead by the age of 30. He's now 40 plus. And John Ryan, Super Bowl champion punter with the Seattle Seahawks, says if he's ever feeling down, he looks at J-Rod for inspiration because this guy's tough. Hasn't been able to leave the rehab center in COVID. Hasn't been able to even see his mom since October. Can you imagine? Never been able to see her.
Wow.
Because they're keeping them safe. And J-Rod said our show really keeps him company on a daily basis. So there you go. Thank you, J-Rod.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate the note. So we can have some fun with this. Quick 6 show topic. Please hit it. Director Jody. Thank you. And I see the text lines up as well for Prairie Mobile. 306-840-8777. You can hit us there too. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Quick 6 show topics of importance to me. Number 1, and the Blue Jays win it 4-2 over the Phillies yesterday. I've got a portion of the game story. Darren, do you want to hear it? Because you darn sure weren't able to watch it.
I didn't watch.
George Springer singled in his first at-bat as a Blue Jay. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. opened the scoring with a solo home run, and Toronto beat the Philadelphia Phillies 4-2 in spring training action Tuesday. Springer, who signed a 6-year deal worth a franchise record $150 million in January, led off for the Blue Jays in his spring debut and singled on a line drive to center in the bottom of the first inning. He was the team's designated hitter and finished the day 1 for 2. We'll have more on the game coming up in the sports update. I want to know Clark's idea, what he thinks about George Springer DHing. Is it because they wanted to get a look at somebody else in the outfield because it's spring training? They didn't pay. He's talking to my ear. It was a rhetorical question. He's like, you just asked me. Well, listen, we didn't pay him $150 million over 6 years to just hit. Don't we want him in the outfield, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just breaking him in easily. I'll say it, I never quite figured out baseball, the culture. If I'm paying somebody that amount of money, I'm going to use him. I'm going to use him into the ground. Right? I'm going to use him until his tongue hangs out. But not baseball. Tuesday's NHL leftovers. Here are mine. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, big. Ottawa, Montreal, small. And i.e., far better game. You got what I was saying there,
Greater
right?
than, yeah.
This is what I realize. I can't watch more than one game at once. I know some guys have TV set up and screens and monitors and mobile devices. I can't do that. I can only watch one game at a time. So I'm going to watch one period per game. And the Ottawa-Montreal game was a bit of a snoozer to me. I'm sorry. But in the Tampa game, Braden Point fought. How about that?
How about that?
And Dylan Cousins, by the way, Lethbridge Hurricanes product, the workhorse from Whitehorse, he fought too for the Buffalo Sabres. But those are two guys that you don't really expect to be fighting, but good for them. They're tough.
Oh, yeah.
My little fun thing, my mind was going like a hamster, coming up with an NHL Scotia North Division All-Star team. And they're in my leftovers from last night. This got nothing to do with last night's game. Here's my starting line for the Scotia North All-Stars. Are you ready?
Yep.
In the fictional virtual All-Star game that we're going to have, McDavid at center, Austin Matthews on the left side, Brock Besser on the right side. You guys in the Leaf Nation think it should be Mitch Marner, right? But I think Marner's got 33 points and Besser's got like 25, and Besser's on a far inferior team.
Besser's been playing really well.
And it's an era of inclusion. We'd like to get as many teams represented on the Scotia North starting 6 as possible. So McDavid at center, Matthews left wing, Brock Besser right wing. On D, this is more of a, what should I say, heart pick. I had Shea Weber and Morgan Riley. Montreal, Toronto, how do you go wrong with that?
Right.
But then you go and look at the stats, and people are saying Jeff Petry's been better, and he probably has, but Shea Weber has the bigger name recognition, and we're trying to sell virtual all-star jerseys here. Come on. Right?
I agree.
And Morgan Riley, people are saying Quinn Hughes is leading all defensemen in scoring, but he's -15.
I was going to say, it's near the top and the minus.
That's still very cold, -15. That's not T-shirt weather. So I'm staying with Riley Weber, okay? That's just me. It's a vote, voted by me. And the starting goalie is Connor Hellebuck of the Winnipeg Jets. I went with him because I put that on Twitter last night, if you noticed. And everybody, in a landslide, voted for Connor Hellebuck. And people are saying Neil Pionk's been better than those other guys. And Oiler fans are saying Nurse. But anyways, that's my all-star team.
I like
the
it.
Scotia North. Now, the other thing, this is an interesting story. And I think we're going to run out of time on the quick 6, but I don't care. Ron Duguay started following me last night. You ladies in the seniors' home that watch every day, they just, Ron Duguay? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these guys here, the guys with the full heads of hair, don't even know. What did you call him? Ron Duguay? Like, who is this Ron Duguay? Don't! Ron Duguay? Show them the picture, Clark. Please show them the picture. This guy was Bon Jovi before there was Bon Jovi, okay? Every woman in North America wanted Ron Duguay in the early 80s, and I think late 70s. There's another one. And probably some men, too, I would think. Herb Brooks was his coach, and Herb Brooks said, is that the photos? Do we have any more? Herb Brooks said his wife had a picture of Ron Duguay on the nightstand, not of Herb. And Rod Dolman, who was a close friend of mine, played in the minors in San Diego with Ron Duguay. And Dolly showed up there as a rookie, and Ron Duguay was at the end of his career. And he said they were walking through airports because the teams were flying commercially back then. Duguay had a suit on, sometimes no shirt. If it was a T-shirt. No socks, dress shoes, the hockey hair, and a briefcase. And like everybody has stopped and stared as he walked through the airport, right? Ron Duguay. So one day Dolly says to him, what's in that briefcase, Ron? Oh, you want to see? Nothing. So anyway, started following Ron Duguay on Twitter last night. He's following us. And then I had said to Clark a while back, can we get some American reporters on the air? You know, in New York, the New York area, beat writers and so forth. Well, he lined up a few, and then those guys didn't want to do video chat, and they were being princesses. And then Clark says, well, Ron Duguay is going to come on. He said he'd come on. There you go. Cool. Good guy, Ron Duguay. He's coming up next week.
That's outstanding. It's like
so great.
Like, I promise you, my coffee cup has coffee in it every day, but it's like if it didn't. It just, I like my coffee, suave, that type of thing. And I'm not actually, it's just a prop.
Rod Dahlman, who was an assistant coach with the PA Raiders when I was with the Raiders, he was telling that story one day on the bus. We were driving somewhere, and he just goes, I was 19 and from McDowell, Saskatchewan. I didn't know cool, but look, the Duguay, that's cool. He's cool. And people are writing, Dylan McDonald says, too cool of a guy. Wayne Grollo in Victoria, BC says, I remember the flowing hair and no helmet.
Guys want to be him. Girls want to be with him. All right.
Dylan McDonald says, Duguay is a rock star. And there are more stories about Duguay. Those are the only ones that I feel at liberty to tell. Mike Blaisdell, really good friend of mine. Y'all have heard of Blazer? He was roommates with Duguay in New York, so you tell me what went on. Okay, moving on before we get into trouble. Point 3, Leafs-Oilers tonight, and the Oilers will, again, game night, I'm wearing that. That's another reason I'm wearing Oilers gear, to tick you guys off. Although I see you never wear Leafs gear, but you're going to in the playoffs. I can feel it coming. Alex Chason suspended one game for his cross-check to the neck of VC the other night, and I'm thinking, I clearly don't know what a penalty is anymore. I think we could all agree with that, right? It's different from one ref to the next in the NHL Department of Safety. But I watched a video of it again, and it's really not that bad. I've seen that not called. I've seen Brady Tkachuk do that to guys and not even be called. But it's after the game. What are you doing? The NHL Department of Safety should have said, we're not suspending him because of the cross-check. We're suspending him because of stupidity. And it said in the video, this is not a hockey play. And they're right.
They're right. And I always come back to when you're assessing the suspensions or what's a guy deserve for games, it's called supplemental discipline. So did they take care of it on the ice, right, with a penalty? And did he serve the punishment, the time? Or did they not? And this came after the game. There was no real consequence. Yeah, they gave him 5 in a game. The game was over. So there was no consequence. So it's like you did it. Now you got to sit out for a game. It's not
pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Well, and we got Dustin Nielson coming up later from TSN 1260 Edmonton. They're upset in Edmonton over this Alex Chason suspension. I've seen a lot of backlash to that. It's like, you can't cross-check somebody in the neck when the game's over. How do you argue that? You probably should have had more.
Yeah, if he'd have done it in the game, during the game, taken a 2-minute penalty, there'd be no suspension.
Yeah. Oh, Gary Mahura's watching from Alberta. He's Josh's uncle of the Anaheim Ducks. And Gary says, you have me ticked off in your Oilers gear today. Looks hideous, Roddy. Go Flames, go. I'm a bit of a spit disturber, as you know, Gary. So I'm not even really. The Golden Knights are my team. What are you going to say?
Was he watching yesterday? Gary?
Oh, when we ripped the Flames?
Were you watching yesterday?
I was saying the Flames swoon is like McDonald's, Gary. Ba, 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 ba. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I wasn't really worried about the reaction in Calgary, because they don't like me there anyways, and that's fine. But as we left here yesterday and I realized how bad it is in Calgary, they're not worried about anything I say. They got bigger fish to fry. They got filet-o-fish to fry, okay? They're so upset over the Flames that they forgot that it's Bo Levi Mitchell's birthday today.
Hey.
Happy 31st, Bo. Star quarterback of the Calgary Stampeders. And by the way, I looked up his Wikipedia today. 77-18-2 is his career record. 77-18-2. By the way, we're getting hung up. I knew that we wouldn't have enough time to get through this. Viewer Dion Langevin writes in and he says, is there no poll today? Did you forget to hit send on the tweet? Oh, it's not on Facebook yet. It is on Twitter. Dion, go to Twitter and you can vote on the Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center poll question. Today it is, which is, well, you named it. What is it? The toughest division? Or
which is the best? Yeah,
which is the best NHL division? The Mass Mutual East Division, the Discover Central Division, the Honda West Division, or the Scotia North Division, where we reside here in the Great White North. I don't know what's the toughest. I'm watching Pierre Maguire last night and Johnny Forsland call the Penguins-Flyers game, and they said the East Division is the toughest division. But, of course, they reside in it. So, I don't know. That's why I can't wait to talk to John Scott and Alan May. And Alan May is ready. We're going to get to Alan right away. Because John Scott said on his Drop in the Gloves podcast that the NHL's Scotia North Division is a mirage because they're playing each other every night. So you can't really tell. How could we tell how any of these divisions are the toughest?
Right.
How would you know?
I know.
I saw Nick Alberga, who's a good friend of ours, better friend of Clark's. He's the Leafs pre- and post-game call-in host. He said he's getting tired of watching the same teams play every night. Nick, wah. I'm not even close. I'm not, and I won't get tired of watching the same teams play every night. Let's just not forget we should just be happy we're playing, right?
I agree.
I'm going to fly through these. Point 4, Oilers Entertainment Group applies to welcome fans in April. Oilers should just be planning on playing in April, let alone welcoming fans. But it's got people, even in the CFL, jumping up and down, hoping that this works, that the Alberta government will open the doors to fans in Edmonton. I hope that's the case. Point 5, the province of BC. This is where we get serious here. The province of BC has approved return to play for the BC division of the Western Hockey League. We got all 4 divisions going.
Yes.
You want to talk about being grateful for something? That's that. Kamloops and Kelowna are going to be hub centers. All the teams are going to play out of there, just like Chicoutimi and Gatineau in Quebec. And Regina here in this division. So thank you, BC, for approving that. And point 6, last one before we break. Raptors farm team playing tonight for against Detroit. See who they're missing? Fred Van Vliet, Spicy P, OG Anunoby. They're all got the Rona or have been exposed to it. So filling in is Sergio Scariola as head coach too, by the way. And he's 1-0 as head coach. As Nick Nurse has to miss 2. And I had a note written down here. Seth Jarvis of the Portland Winterhawks. Just an interesting note, and I picked this up at Dub Network. Do you know he was just drafted by Carolina in the first round?
Right.
He leads the American Hockey League with 11 points at 18.
Wow.
No.
Kids
and he's got to go to Portland.
I know, and he's got to leave.
And I said the Jets should have drafted him because he's a Winnipeg kid. And they went with a forward anyways in Cole Perfetti, Mum Spaghetti. And people are like, no, Rod, no. Perfetti's the better player. Seth Jarvis is eating up the American Hockey League. Why would you not want that? Anyways, this has been the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Your home for the NHL and the UFC. Alan May joins us next from the Washington Capitals broadcast crew, NHL alum and SJ alum. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and listen live 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait, do it right now. Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Okay, I have to apologize. And Alan May, hang on. I'm crying. I'm catching my breath. I'm laughing so hard because we mentioned that Ron Duguay is coming on next week. Alan Hordell has tweeted, Ron Duguay on the Rod Pedersen Show next week. Let the ladies know at the seniors' homes. Ron Duguay liked the tweet. And I think he's watching now. And earlier on, somebody had written in here, Blade Mountain. He says, does Rod swear? I want to throw it on TV. I don't want to offend my grandmother. Ha ha. No. And I thank you guys for all jumping in and saying, no, Rod does not swear on the air. And he's like, thanks. So another senior. She'll be very excited when Ron Duguay joins the show next week. Okay, let's bring in Alan May now. Mayday, pride of Barrhead, Alberta. How you doing, Alan?
I'm doing great, and I'm excited for Ron Duguay as well.
See, what started this is none of these guys knew who he was, Alan, and I'm like, whoa. They're like, Ron Duguay is following us on Twitter. I'm like, what? Ron Duguay? And Clark tells me that you have a story.
Well, I've got a bunch, but you know what? The biggest thing is I just remember back, I think it was a 1983 Canada Cup in Edmonton. It was a preseason game or an exhibition game for that. And we didn't have our normal season tickets at that point for the Oilers. We had season tickets, but Canada Cup kind of changed the rules on it. But I remember watching Ron Duguay and Barry Beck just annihilate, and they beat the Russians 3-2 in that game. They got spanked in the last game, but I just remembered how hardworking he was, and the hair was so beautiful. I didn't get to really meet him until after our careers were over, and the first time was at a charity hockey event in the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles. And I still couldn't believe how good looking he was, how great the physique was. He wouldn't have a beer with me at the time. He was drinking waters. And I had always heard he was the one NHL player that traveled with water all the time. And fast forward years later, like maybe 2000, I was coaching in an all-star game in a league called the Western Professional Hockey League. And I finally got to have beers with him in Amarillo, Texas, of all places. And just an incredible guy. I absolutely love him. Still hasn't really aged. He's defying father time, and he's spectacular on television. Got a lot of great opinions, and I still idolize him. He's still a great-looking man, and I know my mom would still love him. And I think who I date right now, I won't ever bring her around Ron.
I don't think he's even offended when we said the ladies in the seniors' homes will be all excited when Duguay comes. Legend. And there's been a lot of cool guys come through the NHL, Alan, and he's like at the top. Anyways, you're cool too. And I never get tired of looking at your hockey DB, by the way. One game with the Brandon Wheat things, Medicine Hat Tigers, New Westminster Bruins, Estevan Bruins, of course, and then a very wonderful NHL career, 393 games, and you settled in Washington there. And the reason I said to Clark, we got to get Alan on, I was watching your post game the other night, like with Bruce Boudreau on there now. You guys don't have any time to talk. Like, you got to go longer now in your post game show with Gabby on there.
Well, I actually love it. And in our pregame show, we have a section called Players Only that we've created. And when Gabby's on, it really adds to it. So lately, when the shows that Gabby's in town, the other day we got Matt Hendricks. And, you know, Bruce Boudreau went to the mat to get Matt Hendricks a chance in Washington. Got him even there after he played a year in Colorado. Got him there on a free agent tryout, and he kicked ass right from there. You know, Matt didn't get to the NHL as a regular until he was 28. But Gabby believes in those guys, finds them all the time. And the stories are absolutely wonderful. When Bruce is on there, he almost cried about, you know, he close to had tears in his eyes with what Matt had to say about him. So it's been a really good feature of our pregame show. And having Bruce around to talk hockey, text with every day about the shows and what's going on around the league is spectacular. He's like a little kid. He's like the rest of us. He absolutely loves this game. He's a heart and soul type of guy. And I hope I get him off my show right away and back onto an NHL bench somewhere, because he really does bring a lot to the National Hockey League.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, he's infectious. But that is the exact portion that I was watching, because Matt Hendricks said he credited Bruce for giving him his shot. And he's like, "You're going to make me cry." It was pretty good TV. What would be your stab at the best division in the National Hockey League right now? That's our poll question today, Alan, as you know, for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center.
Well, it's the division I'm covering right now. It's actually like 4 different leagues when you look at it. And I don't think it's because I'm working in this, you know, work for NBC and I cover Washington. But, you know, when you think of the Washington, the Islanders, Boston, Philly, Pitt, all of those teams are legitimate in any division that they are in. Pittsburgh's going through a little transition right now, but they're still dynamite. When they lock it down, when they're focused on, a 5-man scrum all over the ice, covering the puck, pressuring it. They score a lot of greasy goals. I look at that, and then New York Islanders probably the best defensive team in the National Hockey League. And lately, Barry's been, unleashing the players, and they've been scoring a lot of goals. But it's first and foremost they're going to end up with the best defense in the league again this year. The goalies will probably have the most shutouts. Boston Bruins, team in transition. Are they ever fast? David Pastrnak, to me, right now is the best goal scorer in the National Hockey League. He's still got to get a little bit better in shape and get his legs going, but he's going to tear it up. He's probably going to end up with 40-plus goals. And Philadelphia, when healthy, when everyone's not on the COVID list, they're an absolute legitimate contender to win the Stanley Cup. They own the Capitals the last couple of seasons. Last year, they kicked their ass every single game when they had all of their players. And so far this year, they've kicked the Capitals' ass in the one game that they've played. So I look at those 5 teams are all legitimate in the National Hockey League. They can play defensively, and they can play offensively, and they've got very good rosters.
Well, if I may, the results here from our Twitter poll. Scotia North Division. Shockingly, they voted as the toughest division. They've got Mass Mutual East, the second toughest, and then the Honda West Division, and then the Discover Central. Hockey, it's tough to win in the NHL, Alan, as you know, on a daily basis. But what about the Sabres? Did you expect more from them?
They are the softest team in the National Hockey League when I watch them play. I do like the roster that they have when you look at their defensemen. When everyone's healthy, those defensemen, every one of them can play on teams in the National Hockey League. It's not like they're stuffing in 7th and 6th guys all in one roster. I love Rasmus Ristolainen. I love Rasmus Dahlin. You look at the players, Jake McCabe, they've lost him for the year, but he can play defensively and a solid game on any team in the National Hockey League. Brandon Montour can move the puck. Yoki Haru is still a very good player. Miller is an upside of a power play guy. So I've expected more, but they play a soft game. They play on the perimeter. They don't get to the interior. They never score ugly goals. And they can get up the ice in transition, but there's no grit to their game. It's not demanded there that they bump and grind, they scratch and claw to create offense. It's not happening. So to me, they're not fun to watch. At the end of the game, they don't have all the nicks, the cuts, the stitches on their jerseys like a lot of other teams do. And back in Ron Duguay and I played, you could tell who the Warriors were and who they weren't by, how many black stick marks they had on their shoulders, the cross checks you took. It was guerrilla warfare on the wall and in front of the net. You took an absolute beating. The game is different now. I think it's easier to get to the net, but the game is so overcoached. And Buffalo just looks like they've got pass here, pass there. They don't get the puck to the net. And you wonder why their big gunners aren't putting the puck in the net, because they're not at the damn net. They're not fighting and getting deflections, rebounds, all of those types of things. So I don't like watching them play at all. They're a yawner right now. They're tough to watch. And they do have some very, very good players. And I think they should be way better in the standings.
Well, and I know that you're watching all the Canadian games, too. And when you talk about going to the front of the net, guys still do it, just not as many, right? Brendan Gallagher does it all the time. He makes a living there, and sometimes he gets penalized for it. But what do you think about the Leafs? Number 1 team in the NHL. I've gone from laughing at them to saying this might literally be their year. And I'm saying now they'd better win the Stanley Cup because they look to be the most complete team. Craig Button's called them the best front-to-back team in the NHL. What's your take on the Leafs?
Well, they're not the best front-to-back team in the National Hockey League, in my opinion. I love Craig Button. But at the same time, what they are doing right now, they've got a lot of offense in the way they play the game. The look of their defense is better, but all of a sudden Justin Holl, however you want to say it, is the number 1 right-handed defenseman in Canada. I have a hard time buying that, although I'm a believer in his game. And he's a guy that I brought up here before after watching him in the American Hockey League. I thought he was a very good player. But the brand of hockey and their competition right now isn't up to what the rest of the National Hockey League is doing. So what I've seen in the last 2 weeks out of them is a team that's working without the puck now to be a better defensive team, to take away the middle of the ice and be hard to play against. And they're able to do that, but they haven't been in any, knockdown, drag-out fights this season. And I think that battle testing isn't there where it needs to be. Is Austin Matthews awesome? Damn right he is. Mitch Marner as well. You look at, I love the veterans that they have in Thornton and Spezza. The way they've accepted their roles and the way they're playing the game right now. And if they can keep them healthy and keep them in the lineup every game, I think they're a better team because you could always lean on those guys. Second power play minutes, the different ways they can get young guys going and counsel them. But at the same time, I just have a hard time buying because you look at how the stats are being run up against, Ottawa at the start. They're starting to get it down now. They've got to be good without the puck and think about it as these young star players. It takes a while. Vancouver, I don't know what the hell kind of hockey they're playing right now, but there's a lot of high danger opportunities for them. The Calgary Flames are a mess. You never know what style of game they're going to play. And, it seems like half the team is slumping at all times in how they play the game. So you look at it, you've got Edmonton, who makes a lot of mistakes in their game. They've got the two best offensive players of any team in the National Hockey League, McDavid and Draisaitl, in my opinion. And that I cover Alexander Ovechkin and Nick Backstrom, and I'm saying that. Winnipeg, I really don't know what type of team they are. They're a little top-heavy. So I just don't think, and, people are going to be pissed off and, about my opinion. But, from playing and coaching and doing all the things we do, the Leafs aren't really being tested. To me, they're kind of working on their game. And they're working on, the position, the structure, all those different things. But they're not the most dominant team in the league, if you ask me.
That's why we're bringing on John Scott next hour, because John has said that. He's like, wait till the playoffs when you got to play defense. We'll see. One of our sponsors, Roxanne from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions, she says, what's that annoying clicking sound in the background? They thought it was Darren clipping his toenails. It's Alan's mic clicking a button on his shirt, which is fine, by the way. Now we know what it is.
I'll take my buttons off.
Rip your shirt off. Here's my thing. Alan, don't worry about it. Now that we know what it is, she's good. My all-star game for the Scotia North, starting six, is McDavid at center, Austin Matthews left side, Brock Besser right side, on D, Morgan Riley, Shea Weber, starting in goal, Connor Hellebuck. Sorry to put you on the spot, but who's the Mass Mutual East Division starting six in our fictional virtual all-star game?
Wow, that's a tough one. Well, right now, I'm going to go at center. Nick Backstrom has been absolutely dominating out here. David Pastrnak goes on the right side for me. God, I'm a huge Crosby fan. Would I bump him to put him on left wing for Nick Backstrom?
Yes, you would.
I'm going to stick with you know what? I'm going to stick by positions. Artemi Panarin.
Okay.
And, at left wing right now, Ovi's not off to the greatest start. He's missed some games. And then on defense, this is where I'm going to get in trouble. As I look up and down these rosters right now, I've got to go with John Carlson. Continues to, deliver the mail and make sure the power play's clicking in Washington, one of the highest percentages in the league, moving the puck. And then on the left side, wow, that's probably the toughest of all of these. God, I'm at a loss right now who to put on at the left defense as I go around the horn and try to remember who we have.
Drop a forward back there. Well, skip it. Pass. Go to the goal. Go to goalie.
Well, you have to go. I think Varlamov has the most shutouts in the league right now, and he's kind of kicking ass. So former Capitals goalie Varlamov is definitely having himself a season again.
Let's put Chara in there, who goes into Boston tonight for the first time. Too bad there's not fans there for that one, Alan.
Well, it's sad because when you think of these tributes that a lot of teams do now, they do them for a guy that played 4 games for you, let alone a guy that's paid, $1,550 something or $1,560 something. And Chara, it would be incredible. I just remember when he went back and wore that full face mask after that injury a couple of years ago in the playoffs. And it brought tears to my eyes to see, the connection the city had with him. So it would be great to be able to really honor him. And I guess we'll have to wait till next season for them to really give him the tribute he deserves. But, he's been here in Washington. He's been phenomenal for the team. He hasn't been with his family all season long. First time he got to see them was the other day. And they may have stayed on the road just so he could get home and be with his kids, his wife and kids. Absolutely spectacular human being. I think he can play as long as he wants. The way he takes care of himself, his commitment to continually learn the game. And he's just been an absolute blessing for the Capitals. They can use him in any role. He's playing over 19 minutes a game. He still brings the physicality, and he shows up. He sticks up for his teammates at all times.
There you go. We'll get to you viewer comments next segment. Roxanne has written and said, no need to undress on the air, but thank you. So there you go, Alan. You got a new fan. We're watching. Thanks for the time, my friend. Stay safe down there.
Yep, take care. Thanks for having me again, Rod.
You bet. Alan May from the Washington Capitals broadcast crew. We'll be right back with a sports update, viewer takeover. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, live daily on YouTube and Facebook. And listen live, 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And the crew, thank you so much. And people were wondering what that clicking sound was. You want to go to the 2-shot? Do you mind? Look at this guy.
Huh?
Move your cup. Move your cup.
Are we back?
He's cutting his toenails while I'm interviewing Alan May on the air. Can you believe this? How rude.
My apologies.
We needed a day like this with belly laughs.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Ron Duguay coming on next week, and he loves the fact that we say the ladies in the seniors' homes are going to go wild. He wasn't even offended. There's a good guy right there. And we're looking at the all best-looking NHL analyst lineup here at the Rod Pedersen Show, and that is Ron Duguay, Alan May, Stu Grimson, John Scott coming up. That's hockey. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
They're all just class.
Always.
Yes, I know it's Bo Levi Mitchell's birthday, you guys. Weren't you watching at the start? They're so worried and crying about the Calgary Flames in Calgary that they forgot to even mention Bo Levi Mitchell's birthday. I had to mention it. Think about that for a second. That's how disrespected Bo Levi Mitchell is in Calgary that I had to bring up his birthday. And you know who I knew, by the way? It came up in my Facebook feed.
What?
We're Facebook friends.
No,
That's
you're
how
not.
I swear to God. Maybe it's a burner for Bo. I don't know. But it came up in my Facebook friends today that it's his birthday, Bo Levi Mitchell. Weird, I know.
That is weird.
We got some great viewer... Well, of course, Trish Heegie's watching on Facebook. She says, loved Ron, number 10. What did I tell you, man? These guys all thought it was Ron Duguay. All these young guys, when I told, hey, guys, Ron Duguay's following us. Who? What? You should be ashamed of yourself.
I know.
Clark just said our female viewership's just gone bing since having Duguay on. Where has NHL Center Ice package been all my life? I'm watching these guys. Duguay on the Rangers broadcast. Butch Goring on the Islanders broadcast. Obviously, LMA on the Capitals broadcast. I never had it till this year. I'm never leaving the house again.
That's cool. That's the cool part of it.
I love it so much. Anyways, I promised a sports update. The Winnipeg Jets roared back with vengeance, downing the Vancouver Canucks 5-2 at Bell MTS Place Tuesday night. The result came after the home side was blanked 4-0 by the Canucks the night before. Dominic Ducharme has his first NHL win as head coach of the Montreal Canadiens. Carey Price made 26 saves as Montreal defeated the Ottawa Senators 3-1 at Bell Center. Andrei Vasilevsky stopped 28 shots for his third consecutive shutout, and the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Dallas Stars 2-0. Steven Matz allowed a hit in 2 scoreless innings, striking out 3 without a walk as his Blue Jays beat the Phillies 3-2. Check that, 4-2 in spring training yesterday. Toronto got him from the Mets for 3 pitching prospects in the offseason. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hit a solo homer for the Blue Jays. Zach Wheeler threw 2 scoreless innings for Philadelphia, giving up 1 hit. And the Minnesota Vikings have released 2-time Pro Bowl tight end Kyle Rudolph, ending his 10-season run with the team to create a little more than $5 million U.S. in cap space. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room, Saskatchewan's newest entertainment destination. Follow them on their website, ballersrecroom.com. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. To the text line, Jim Wagner writing us. For Prairie Mobile, 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile, your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. He says, good morning, RP Nation. Thoughts on the Jets retro reverse jersey? I thought they were a real beauty. Thanks for doing what you do. Take care. If I may, Jim, we're not doing anything noble here. Talking sports every day. I was telling Darren I spent 90 minutes on the phone last night doing recovery work, and when I was done, and I told my wife too, I climbed into bed at 9 o'clock. It's not stressful, it's draining. But that's the noble stuff. Thanks for what you do. What are we doing? I just told you the other day, we're just screwing around every day.
I know.
But to the Jets reverse retros, by the way, I smell a ranking. Or maybe a bracket.
Oh, I do too.
Because the Detroit jerseys, are you kidding me? You're wasting our time. It's a practice jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have the Jets reverse retro than the Detroit Red Wings reverse retro, but that's not saying much. I don't really like that. Where did gray come from? Why are you putting gray in a Winnipeg Jets jersey? And to the Jets' credit, they haven't had a lot of jerseys in their time. They've really only had 2. There you go. Nice work, Clark. Look, it's not bad, but that doesn't scream Winnipeg Jets to me.
It's bad. It is bad.
He's saying it's bad. See? I don't want to say it.
We should rank them. Or a bracket. We should rank them, though.
Let's do
1 to 32. We'll just...
Yeah. Well, I got New Jersey in my top 3. I've got L.A. in my top 3.
Minnesota?
Just purple haze. Minnesota's the green and gold, right?
Oh, good.
Look, I think we're on to something. We'll continue all this when we come back. Jason in Red Deer says Carey Price's goaltending coach was also fired during the second period of that game last night. That was coming, though. Don't think about the timing. Stefan Waite let go. Sean Burke moved in there. We've been in touch with Berkey. He's going to be on the show here shortly. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed. IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you, unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Okay, welcome back. You're not going to believe this. My mind is blown. You know how we were saying we're just having a day, a great day, and we needed a good day of laughs around here. You're not going to believe this. People, pick up, pay attention. An NFL player just came in, didn't even knock on the door.
No.
And that's fine. Derek Moncrief of the Los Angeles Rams just dropped. I just snapped that photo and sent it to Clark to throw up on Facebook. Derek Moncrief, Los Angeles Rams defensive back. And this is the shirt. This is the shirt right here. Sorry, Darren, he didn't have one in your size.
He's coming back.
He's coming back. Creef. Like I said to these guys, don't get used to this stuff, okay? Because you don't even know who Ron Duguay is. You know what I mean? Like, just realize this doesn't happen every day and to everybody.
No.
And you got an NFL player just show up. Hey, guys, got an autograph, photo for you, and here's some gear. Am I making too much of this?
No.
All I'm saying is I'm very, very, very grateful of the folks who have bought in and what can I say? Support this show, watch this show.
Every
NFL player, the biggest of the big.
Every single day, not often, every single day, there's at least one wow moment that just hits you in the face and it's like, wait a second, this is real life.
Well,
this is what we do.
And not to mention, Stacy Champagne, one of the viewers, writes in, he says, Derek Moncrief, name drop. Oh, hey, watch your toes. Oh, watch your toes. I'm going to drop some names here. But we're in the middle of our morning meeting the other day, and I'm texting, and I was a little distracted. Remember this one? And there was a player texting me from the steps of a courthouse. Remember that one? And it's all good, but it's good. And you're going to be hearing the news on that coming up shortly, but you're just like, this is a movie. This is going in the movie.
Yes.
Sorry, guys, I'm a little distracted here.
It's
but
the TV show. Like
this player's texting me for some advice.
We're living in it every day. It's unbelievable.
Our life's a movie.
Unbelievable.
I like the movie. It's better than the movie. I remember in June going to a movie when the theaters were still open, which they're open now, right? Here, aren't they?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I said if 2020 was a movie, we'd get up and walk out. We wouldn't believe what was going on. And it hasn't got a whole lot better.
No, but you'd stay for this movie because you don't know what's going to happen next.
Roger Yee in Calgary. You are a big deal, Roddy. Believe that, brother. No. Friends. It's friends. That's all. Donna Berger says, interview him. We already did.
Been there.
We had him on last week. Back to the jerseys, by the way. We're running out of time on this. We only got a minute and a half. So I think we got to do a bracket for what will be the best retro reverse jersey in the NHL. And there's a lot of really good ones. The Jets fans, listen, I understand. You're writing in and you're upset that we don't like the Jets' third jerseys and they're undefeated in them. That's okay. But you have to understand that we all have our own likes and dislikes. Like, I'm not an LA King fan, but they're my favorite jersey. Right? The New Jersey jerseys last night, the green base with the red, it was a little too dark green for me. They looked almost black. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It was a little too dark from what they actually wore in the 90s. Sean Burke vintage. From Ricardo. Ticats fan, that's the sign of a trusted guy. If they can text you from the steps of a courthouse, they can text you anywhere. Yeah, I guess so. What did I tell you about draining? It's not stressful, but it's like,
it's exhausting. Yeah.
Yeah. Next hour, John Scott. Can't wait for that. Dustin Nielson from TSN 1260 Edmonton. Lots going on. Stick with us through the break, everybody. Game Plus and here on YouTube, Facebook Live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join
How could the Pagulas, the family that owns the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Sabres, have fixed the Bills and get them to host a playoff game in the NFL after 20-plus years of futility? But they botched the Sabres?
How about that?
Treat your people well, treat your people well, treat your people well, draft well, have some integrity. There's your 5. You want to know why some teams are perennially losing? They've forgotten those key concepts.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. And welcome to the second half kickoff, everybody. RP here. Moose DuPont there. I'm just going through my Facebook right now, which I shouldn't do right now. I just hate when people tag me.
Well,
and yet I tag other people, but you know what
the thing I don't like is like that weird expectation now that like, do I have to share this? I don't want to share it. I enjoy it.
Exactly.
But now I feel obligated.
We got a lot of new viewers chiming in today. Joe Hamilton watching down in St. Louis. Hey, Joe. I was on his podcast the other night. He said, should the Golden Knights even have a reverse retro this early in the franchise? Joe, fortunately, you're talking to Johnny, Golden Knights fan here. Canada's biggest Golden Knights fan. That's me. The Golden Knights, yes, they should have a reverse retro because their jersey honors pro hockey in Vegas going back 50 years. The Las Vegas Thunder, the Las Vegas Wranglers. So the hockey didn't just get dropped in Vegas 5 years ago with the Golden Knights, 4 seasons ago. That's what they're paying homage to. And by the way, if they could sell a few more jerseys, why not? I got so many people asking me, how do you feel about those jerseys? For me, it's I don't really like the gold helmets either. But that's fine. Not for everybody. We're just all excited here because we had an NFL player just come and drop off gear right in the middle of the. It walked in a break. He was very nice about it. Derek Moncrief of the LA Rams. And I said to Darren, I'm not sure Canadians and particularly people around here in the sweatpants capital understand how big the NFL is. Like the NHL is big. Add a 0 or 2 to the NFL. When you got a guy from the Rams just rolling in, hey guys, got some gear here for you. Roll it out. No big deal.
No big deal.
Not a big deal. Do you want to put the photo up? Are you got a hand free, Clark, for those that missed it? He's trying to get John Scott on the air, so I understand that. John Scott coming up here shortly with his take on the National Hockey League, the veteran of 286 games and an NHL All-Star. Yeah, he can't. Oh, there it is. There's the photo of Derek Moncrief. I apologize to the podcast listeners that they can't see it, but that's his gear. Follow Derek Moncrief on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and he's got a clothing line. This guy's got it going on, okay? And I really appreciate what he did. John Scott upcoming. Jordan, let's hit the quick 6 show topics, if you don't mind. Just to remind our viewers, we do have a somewhat of a roadmap here. It's a grid road.
Yeah. Sometimes you're on one side, sometimes you're on the other.
There's no shoulders on this road. It's a low road. You got to be a rural guy to understand that.
And you just drive where the grooves are.
Exactly. Oh, John's ready. So just hang real quick. Here's what we were talking about today. And the Blue Jays win it. 4-2. They beat the Phillies yesterday. George Springer's debut. He went 1 for 2 with a single, but he didn't play in the outfield. He was the DH. And again, I don't understand baseball, but I think if you're paying a guy the richest contract in franchise history, you play the spit out of him. But that's just me. Our Tuesday NHL leftovers from last night's games. I feel like that's so last night. Here's what I'm interested in now. Ron Duguay will be with us next week, and these young guys don't even know who he is. But you're starting to feel guilty that you don't know who Ron Duguay is, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you know now.
Well, I know now.
And all the women in the seniors' homes, they all perked up when they heard the name Ron Duguay. He was John Bon Jovi before there was John Bon Jovi. Think John Bon Jovi meets Wayne Gretzky. He's going to be with us next week. He's following us. He's liking everything, and he's on the Rangers broadcast. And I'm going to ask John Scott what he thinks about Ron Duguay. Point 3, Leafs-Oilers tonight. I'm just wearing this because all the Leafs fans around here. Should be a good one. But the Leafs have already won the 3-game set. They've won the first 2. Point 4, Oilers Entertainment Group has applied to welcome fans in April, so we hope that it happens. The CFL is watching closely. Point 5, Kelowna and Kamloops have been approved by the province of BC as hub centers for a BC division return to play. So now we're going to have all 4 divisions in the Western Hockey League playing. Praise to God. And point 6, a Raptors farm team plays tonight against the Detroit Pistons because the Raptors are going to be missing Fred VanVleet, Spicy P, OG Anunoby, all because of COVID breakouts or threats. And Sergio Scariolo will be coaching because Nick Nurse is going to be out too, but Sergio's 1-0, seems to know what he's doing. So let's go to John Scott now, right on time. And as I mentioned earlier, for those that don't know, John, bear with me here. 286 games, Minnesota, Chicago, the Rangers, the Sabres, the Sharks, Coyotes, and Montreal Canadiens, and an all-star, of course. Please tell me you're old enough to remember Ron Duguay.
I know Ronnie personally. He's a great guy. He's the only guy who, when you walk into a room, all the women just like, oh, who's that guy? And I'm not even the older ladies. Everyone. He's got the teeth, the tan, the hair. He looks like that Moose guy, but better looking.
There you go. It's the hair, right? The women love the hair, but he's better looking than, yeah, for sure. Yeah, John. Thank you for that. And Duguay will be on next week. And we got to educate these kids now, man. That's part of what I feel like I'm doing every day here. John, your Leafs take on the Drop in the Gloves podcast got a lot of reaction, by the way. And kudos. Are you loving doing that podcast where you can just let it rock with real analysis? You must be.
It's fun. I think it's a good time. I don't hold back. I think a lot of guys who do podcasts are worried about offending people, but I don't honestly care. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but you're not saying anything too rank, right? Like you're just being yourself. And I just love that you were doing home renos. Remember last spring, or was it in the summer, and you stopped and your buddy put the camera on you, and it's like, you just got to say this, John. Like this is fun stuff we're doing every day.
It is fun, and there's a lot to talk about, which is cool, especially this year. And gosh, especially up there in Canada, it seems like every day something's going on. So it's great. I enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it.
Can I just ask, last we talked, I think, were you in Traverse City, Michigan? Is that where you're at? That's where you're at right now?
That's where I'm at now. Still in Traverse City. We just moved during this whole COVID mess. We're on a little house on a big chunk of land. So ever-evolving life I have. I got 6 kids. I don't know the last time we talked how many I had, but yeah, I got 6 now, and life's good.
Yeah, good for you. And strong Wi-Fi there, so kudos on that too, or a good cell connection. Anyways, yeah, you're coming through great. You were in the bathroom with your robe on the last time you were with us, if you remember. It was awesome. But, John, I want to have a hockey debate with you here on the Leafs. You've said that the Scotia North Division might be a little bit of a mirage, and the Leafs nobody's challenging them, which Alan May last hour agreed with you on, by the way. But is there any chance that you could play run and gun to win a Stanley Cup? Is there, it's kind of 80s Oilers. Is that possible still or no?
I think it's possible. If there's a year to do it, it's this year, because the teams that they're going to meet in the playoffs, the Bruins, the Knights, the Blues, whoever that may be, they haven't played them all year. So maybe they can catch them off guard. They won't be able to adjust, and they can just bang out a couple quick wins, and then that's a series. But I don't know. I've always been of the ilk, defense wins championships. You win a cup with strong down the middle, good defensemen. And I don't think the defense on Toronto is that too hot. I think their goaltending is shaky at times. And like I said on my podcast, I don't think they're getting tested. I think they're just skating through this season. I don't think they've had to face a really strong defensive team. I don't think they will. Who in the Canadian division is scary defensively? Nobody. So I don't know. I like the Bruins this year. I like the Blues. I like the Vegas Golden Knights. I like those teams that have faced adversity and do have a decent defensive structure around them.
Well, you're an Edmonton product. Do you consider Edmonton your hometown?
No.
What do you consider your hometown?
St. Catharines, Ontario.
Okay,
so I moved there when I was 5, so I was raised in St. Catharines.
Okay, so my point is, how much blowback did you get from Leafs fans? Because you know how defensive they are. What was the reaction to your comment on your show about that?
I hate the Leafs, which is I don't care what the Leafs fans think of me. I've always hated the Leafs ever since I was a kid. So they don't like me and I don't like them. I'm proud of the Leafs. You know, they're going to make the Final Four finally in their illustrious career. They have a chance to, make the Stanley Cup Finals. Good for them. But if it's a regular season and they're in their same division, they're not getting out of the first round. So it's just a reality of the situation. They kind of hit this COVID season. They have a chance to make a good playoff run. Good for them. I don't care what the Leafs Nation thinks. They can take a hike.
Good for you, because I'm like that with the Flames. And it feels kind of dirty to say that, but it's true. So you just say it. But I got a Leaf disciple here. Actually, I'm surrounded by them. What's your take on? You must have questions for John Scott on this.
Well, I mean, I'm really curious to see what it would be like when they play the other divisions, because that's our poll question today, right? Is what's the strongest division? But we never will really know if you're not playing those interdivision games. What's that like for the players? Like, how do you prepare for playoffs when you've never seen these teams during the season?
Well, no one's been in this situation, and I don't think you can prepare because you still have to get a division, and that's pretty hard in a lot of these divisions. You look at the Eastern Division there with Boston and Philly and Pittsburgh and all those great teams. That's no cakewalk. And then you got the West with the Vegas Golden Knights, Colorado, and St. Louis. That's pretty tough. So I don't think they're looking too far ahead. As players, you don't look a week ahead. Like, honestly, you ask your wife, hey, where am I going this week? You have no foresight at all. Even the coaches, I know I've heard a few of them say, like, we have no idea what's going on in the other divisions. We're playing so many games back to back, 3 and 5. So I think they'll cross that bridge when they get to it. And that might be good for the Leafs just because nobody's scouting them. But I don't know. I hope they win. It's good for hockey if they win. I just don't see it.
No, I know. Well, and the thing is, as you know how the players think, because you were one, and the coaches, we can only beat who's on the schedule. Like, they have the #1 record in the NHL, and you're saying they're not being challenged. I get that. And, they're not going to be able to dial it up in the playoffs. I get what you're saying there. You can't just flip a switch. Nobody can. Do you think when you need to? Like, you need to have your pedal to the metal all year, especially in a 56-game season.
I think you can flip the switch, and you can amp up the intensity. But if you've been playing 56 games at a certain level and a certain ease of play, I think it's a little harder to flip that switch to kind of finally go from, I have all this room. If I'm Austin Matthews, I have so much time and space every single game. And then all of a sudden I got Patrice Bergeron in my pocket every single game. That's a little different than how I've been playing for the last 4 months. So it's going to be a lot harder for Toronto. I don't see them getting past that because all these other teams, they are good offensive teams as well. And they've been working on their defense and their positioning and their just everything for 56 games. And Toronto is literally coasting through the regular season. They have no challenges in this division. I thought Vancouver was going to be good. I thought Edmonton was going to give them a tough time. Winnipeg is slowly starting to get their game together, but there's nobody who scares them in that division.
I thought it would be the Oilers like this set, and they haven't even scored a goal on the Leafs, right? So you know what? This is what I'm saying. The Leafs better win a Stanley Cup because they're proving that they're so great. So on coaches, players, let's see. I got a question for you, John. Like Dave Tippett's a friend of mine. That's why I'm quasi-Oiler fan, the whole Tippett family. And I remember watching you skate at the Ice Den with the Coyotes on a practice day. That was the year that you were an All-Star, now that I think about it.
Yes.
And yeah. So of all the cities you played, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Chicago, New York, Buffalo, San Jose, Arizona, and Montreal again, what was your favorite city? I'm sure you get it all the time, but to live in, be a part of the team, what was your favorite city?
I hit Chicago right at the sweet spot when they had just won the Cup, and all the other teams were garbage. The Bears were non-existent, the Cubs stunk, and the Bulls were like terrible. So we could literally go anywhere. People were like jumping over tables to buy our dinner. So that was pretty cool. But the overall experience, I think San Jose was awesome. We could go to the beach one day. You can go to the desert another day. You can go to the mountains the other day. And I had never been that far out west. And it was nice. It was nice to get up in the morning in January and throw on a pair of shorts and then go swimming in February outside in your pool. So it was really, really great. And then Arizona was the same thing. But I lived like in an old folks home, kind of one of those snowbirds communities.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the sexy Arizona vibe that everybody else gets. I hung out with Merv at the hot tub every day, so I didn't get the same experience as everybody else does in Arizona.
But here goes your hair. No, I know, and it's and the amazing thing is it's only 11 games. I'm glad I caught you when I did because I thought it was longer. And I was down there. We were hosting, I don't know if you remember that Riderville party, the Rough Riders party. We had all the Rider fans there. You were playing. Max Domi was paying attention because he talked about it. But I remember going to Scottsdale for the first time, and I'm going, where's the action? Like, it's so quiet. There's was nothing going on.
Well, you can find some action down there. Like I'm sure Maxie found some action, and those young kids, they had fun. There's Arizona State there. Trust me, they find their fun.
Trust me, I know, but I had to leave Scottsdale to find it. I said to the driver, I had a driver, John. It was the owner's driver of the Coyotes. And I said, where's the action?
Of course you did. Of course you did.
You've heard this story, right?
Yeah.
And I said to the driver, he didn't freeze. Do we still have John?
No.
You froze there, John. And I said to the driver, he says, where's some action around here? And the driver turned to me and he goes, whatever you need. What you looking for? I'm like, I'm not looking for anything sick or crazy. I just want to stop there. But he took me to a place called the Blue Martini, John, and it was a good spot. Hey, real quickly, what is the toughest division in the NHL right now, if you had a vote in our poll? Oh, he's completely gone. No, right when the story was getting good. No, we got to go. We got to break. Or do we? They're trying to bring him back. Well, he says we got a couple minutes. The story was great. But I'll never for driving around. Can you take me somewhere? What did I say? Somewhere with some action? I'll never forget him looking. Oh, yeah, whatever you need. What you looking for?
But once you reach a certain age,
just a little action, man.
You get in your 30s maybe in your career, maybe your mid-30s, you can't go to Arizona State anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of
frowned upon.
Yeah, okay, they say we got him. Yeah, so anyways, John, let's bring it back. Tempe's like an hour away. Like you had, for where I was, you had to drive to find a little, and I was just saying to them, just a little, just something a little with a heartbeat.
I'm glad that you never found that spot. You would have looked ridiculous in that. No. You go to a nice casual bar, Rod. Like, let's stay in your lane here. Come on.
At that point in my life, I wasn't looking for something casual. Yeah. So, anyways.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Lastly, who is the toughest division in the NHL? Our poll, the voters are saying Scotia North Division, second place Mass Mutual East Division. What are you voting for?
You got a bunch of homers voting for the North Division, obviously. It's the Eastern Mass Mutual. I think top to bottom, that's the toughest division. I think that the division with the best teams is that Western Division. I don't know the names they gave them, but with Colorado, Vegas, and St. Louis, I think those are the best teams. But the best overall is that Eastern Division. I liked all those teams, except for my poor Sabres. Oh, my gosh. They just can't catch a break.
I know. And again, I keep referring to Alan May, but last hour he said the softest team in the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres. Unbelievable. Well, now that I have you, last one, because I don't know when we're going to talk again. If you were to go into the Hockey Hall of Fame, what hat would you be wearing, John? That's always a fun question. I would think it's a Sabres hat, but maybe I'm wrong. What would it be?
Oh my! I'd probably honestly pick Minnesota. That was my first team. I feel like they gave me the break to jump into the league, and I don't know, Minnesota, and then maybe second would be the Sabres. Those two.
All right. Hey, we covered a lot of ground, and the viewers all want to ask about you falling through the pond playing hockey. We don't have time here, but next time, can you tell us that story?
It was death-defying, Rod, of course.
Okay. Glad that you made it. You're still with us, man. There's a reason for it. John Scott, thanks. Keep it up.
See you guys.
All right, NHL veteran, all-star John Scott from the Drop in the Gloves podcast. I started to sweat thinking about that Scottsdale story for a second. I'm like, what can I say here? I'm not sure I got it right. Anyways, Dustin, Nielson coming up. It's the RP Show you're watching on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live. And 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. We are just having a fantastic day. We're a little behind schedule, so we're going to jump right into Dustin Nielson, TSN 1260 Edmonton, joining us. We went a little long with John Scott. We had NFL players in here dropping gear off. It's been a great day, Dustin. Have you been having a great day in Edmonton? How's things up there with you?
We had a pretty good show today. I won a game on the Tecmo Super Bowl machine. So all in all, Rod, it's been a great start. And it's not even noon yet, so I'm having a pretty good day.
You're going to be ready for a nap right away, Dusty. Listen, I'm wearing this in honor of you and also because our other two guests, John Scott and Alan May, are both Edmonton products. But a big night tonight. And I want to get your analysis on this, if you don't mind. You saw John Scott saying that the Leafs have not been challenged. They're romping through the Scotia North Division, and once the playoffs hit, they're going to die fast. I thought the Oilers were going to give them a bigger test than they have. I assume you thought so too.
Definitely. I definitely thought with the way the Oilers had been playing, I thought that this would at least be a rather competitive 3-game set. And we'll see what happens tonight. But, they'd won 11-13 going in. And even in the 2 games they lost, I think one was to Winnipeg and one was to Vancouver. I liked the way they played. I thought they actually pushed the pace. Even in that first game against Toronto, when they fell behind, I thought they were still going. I didn't think they really gave up. So I liked the spot they were in. I think because of that, the fan base here is giving them a little bit of extra leash after losing these two. The issue is how they lost them. And to be shut out by the opposing team's second string and third string goaltenders when you have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl is just unheard of. I mean, nobody saw that coming, but give credit where credit is due. I think Toronto's played 2 very tight defensive games over the last 2, and we'll see if Dave Tippett here tonight and see if they can take advantage of it.
Jason in Red Deer's watching, and he says Austin Matthews and Freddie Anderson both confirmed to play tonight. And when we looked into that, they're confirmed on the lineup. We're not confirmed that Freddie Anderson's going to start, but it would not look good on the Oilers if Toronto played 3 different goalies and won 3 games. That wouldn't be good, would it, Dusty?
Right, we already talked about this jokingly. We said that, the Leafs might bring in Freddie Anderson and maybe he'll get a shutout too. And that would have to be the first time in NHL history a team has shut out an opponent 3 straight games with 3 different goaltenders. So, I would think some offense is coming tonight. We saw Dave Tippett, if we're talking about the Lions for tonight. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is back with Leon Draisaitl and Kyler Yamamoto for essentially the first time in a year. They didn't go to them in the play-in until the final 7 minutes. Actually looked good. For some reason, Dave Tippett has wanted to stay away from this, even though last year when they were together, I think they played 23 games together. They had 28 5-on-5 goals for and 8 goals against. Like, they were absolutely dominant 5-on-5 when together last year. So it took back-to-back shutouts at the hands of the Leafs to get the job done. But Nugent-Hopkins, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto finally reunited for the game tonight.
Okay, I have my own questions, but the viewers do, because we got a lot of Oiler fans here, Dustin. You and I have talked about that before. So I'm going to turn it over to the viewers a little bit here. Darren Bradley's watching on Facebook. He says, is Stalock going to replace Koskinen's $4.5 million salary? This is the goalie the Oilers claimed off waivers the other day. What are the plans for Stalock?
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's got to get through quarantine, but, I've said a couple of times since they picked him up here that I don't think he would come in and do any worse than what Koskinen has done so far. The thing with Koskinen, though, is that he does have a partial no trade. Not that anybody's really going to be lining up to get their hands on him. So you could see a situation here where they have 3 goaltenders, and I know that's not ideal, but Mike Smith's been terrific so far. So if Mike Smith can continue that, I think he'll continue to get the majority of the run. But I think Stalock can come in here and, if given an opportunity, like let's say Mike Smith gets hurt, I don't think it's crazy to think that Alex Stalock can come in, play well, and end up being a 1-2 punch with Mike Smith down the stretch. So, Koskinen was not good last game. I mean, depending on who you talk to, I see some folks in Toronto who've been labeling it as a sweet backhand snipe by Nylander. But let's be honest, Koskinen has to stop that shot. But the 2 games prior to that, he made 40 saves in each of them and picked up wins. So they needed some goaltending depth because they've been trying to rotate other guys through in that 3 spot. Skinner was there. They claimed Grosnick for a little bit. So I don't think goaltending depth will hurt, but I also think Stalock could end up factoring in here at some point this season.
Dustin, growing up in Cranny, were you a goalie?
I played goal for 6 years.
Yeah, you strike me as a goalie. I was one too, by the way. It's a compliment. And I'm just thinking, I look at Marc-Andre Fleury, and they're talking about him. He's taking the ball and running it with Leonard out. And look at his numbers. .941 save percentage, sub 3.0 GAA. It's unbelievable at age 36. Is that too high of a standard to hold Jacob Markstrom to, and the Oilers goalies and everybody else? Like, why is it so hard at Edmonton to get somebody to play consistent? Because it's just, I gave up on Mike Smith and Koskinen last year. I was defending them all year, and it's to a point where they're so inconsistent, you can't. Like, how do you go into the playoffs not knowing what you're going to have on a nightly basis?
That's tough. I think that's probably what will end up happening. I know I was listening coming home from our station today, and they were talking about on Low Tide Show, talking about, can they trade for a goalie? Can they trade for a goalie? And I'm sure Ken Holland would like to. We know Holland was in on Markstrom, but he gave him a pretty good contract offer. Ken Holland understands that they need an upgrade in net. And I think the most reasonable way to go about it, or what we should expect, is the Oilers to address this in free agency, because they're going to have more cap space than they've had over the last few years. So that would be one thing that I would look at. I mean, for the Oilers, I think best case scenario is that if you're going to have successful goaltending in the postseason, it's probably going to have to be Mike Smith getting on a heater. And I mean, we've seen Mike Smith for stages of his career go on incredible runs. Is it crazy to think he can do that when he's 38? Probably, but at the same time, he started this season extremely well, and his numbers have been through the roof, albeit in a limited sample size. But we're talking, 6-7 games now for Mike Smith. So I'm sure, and I mean, I'm kind of like you. I mean, last year I was pretty pro Mike Smith, and then they put him in the game 1 of the bubble, and it kind of backfired. This year, I said I was going to try to say less negative things about Mikko Koskinen, because I've been pretty hard on him since they gave him that ridiculous contract, and he's not helping me out a lot of nights, which is really frustrating me. So we'll see if they can get it sorted out. But I don't think there's a goalie being choppered in here to help things.
No, there's none available. I know the trade deadline's coming up, and they'll be looking at that. But I just think coaches at all levels don't really know how to handle their goalies unless they were one. And like, for instance, the Flames, I said to Kelly Rudy, do they ever consult you on anything to do with goaltending? And Kelly's like, no. And I'm like, well, why would they? He's only Kelly Rudy. It's like, well, we got it. But you would think, hey, Rudes, what do you think about this? But they never do. How's the view of the Flames look from north on Highway 2?
It was pretty pleasant for most people up here prior to being shut out in back-to-back games by the Toronto Maple Leafs. We had Craig Button on my show on Tuesday, and he was the one who, I didn't even bring it up. He kind of brought it up that, if Calgary doesn't really get sorted out here, Ward could be in a little bit of trouble. And, a healthy Markstrom, consistently moving forward, I think changes a lot of that. Maybe he has to put on a Harudi bandana or something too. That'd be cool. Take it to the next level. But Calgary's, I think they're better than they have been, especially as of late. Like, Kachuk's a really good player. Johnny Gaudreau's extremely skilled. Monahan still has a ton of game left in him. Maybe they just don't have the supporting cast to get it done offensively. I mean, if you look at what's happening in this North Division, and I thought this would probably be the way, which is why I had Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Toronto as my top 3 teams in the North, and that's because they have elite offensive talent. I mean, it's Matthews, it's Marner, it's Tavares, it's Leon and McDavid, and if you want to put Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in that mix, and then Winnipeg, I mean, the list goes on and on. You got Wheeler, you got Scheifele, you got Connor, you got Ehlers, you got Dubois. So these are the teams that are emerging, because these are the teams that have the elite top-end talent in a division where Goaltending is questionable in some spots here in Edmonton, in Vancouver. I mean, Ottawa, Montreal, the way Carey Price has been playing, that hasn't been great either, really. And then a bunch of blue lines that are, some of them are pretty good, but nothing's really great. So I think having those top end guys is really what's going to separate the top part of the division compared to the lower part of the division.
Oh, for sure. Wayne in Victoria's watching. He says, man, the analysis is great with Dustin and Rod. Goaltending is so important in the playoffs. The goalie can steal a game or two if you have the right guy. From Ricardo, he's a Ticats fan. He says, Dwayne Roloson had a great run as a vet for Tampa in 2011, so it's not completely out of the question. What, to bring Roloson back? They might have to. Chris Bird is watching in Toronto, and he says, Ben Steiner, he's a U Sports reporter, reports Mike Babcock is meeting with the Montreal Canadiens today. The two sides have been talking since last week.
About what?
Yeah, pardon me?
About me? What? What are they talking about?
About head coach. Benny DM'd me that tweet, by the way. He just reported that Mike Babcock's meeting with the Canadiens today, obviously about the head coaching job. Honestly, I thought it was a long shot when I put in our poll last week. Could Babcock coach the Habs? What was your take on the fallout last week? I was blown away by the anti-Babcock sentiment out there in hockey. Dustin, maybe I
wasn't too surprised by it. Like when you see how it ended in Toronto and where we're at today with how you handle players and obviously what went on there. With that being said, I think he's going through the right steps here with the U of S. I think that's a great landing spot for him for a little while. I think it's good for that program. I think in the end, maybe he just needed a little bit of a wake-up call. Maybe he doesn't see it that way or not. Because for the longest time, I mean, depending on who you talk to, we know there are certain people who don't like him. But in the hockey circles, from a media perspective, a lot of people, you look at the job that Mike Babcock had done, and he had the Stanley Cup. It was a while ago, and had a chance to be part of these really good Team Canadas. This Montreal news, Babcock doesn't speak French, does he? Am I missing something here? He doesn't speak French, does he? There's no way. I mean, you're not getting that job unless you speak French. There's no way Montreal would do that.
You would think that's long been the policy, but as somebody pointed out to me, the Alouettes head coach doesn't speak French, nor does what the former Impact, whatever they've changed the team to. That might be a misnomer that you have to speak French. How do you spell win in French? W-I-N. Victoire? If you win a Stanley Cup, what's more important here? Winning a Stanley Cup or speaking French? The other hasn't worked too well since 1993.
I agree with you, Rod. I agree. We were saying it, when they made that coaching change last week. I mean, there's a lot of good coaches out there that don't speak French. You can get a translator. I mean, there are ways you can make it work. And I agree with you on that, but I just don't think the organization would do it. I'd be pretty stunned because the French-speaking media there would absolutely tear them apart. And I don't know if they need that.
Yeah. Gagne is French for win, by the way. Dave, Gagne. There you go. Jason, again in red here, says Freddie is confirmed as the starter per Mark Masters of TSN. Can I lob this last one at you, Dusty, because I know you're a busy guy? My Scotia North Division All-Star team is McDavid at center, Besser on the right wing, Austin Matthews on left wing. The defense is Shea Weber and who else did I say? Morgan Riley, and starting in goal, Connor Hellebuck. Alan May played this game in hour one, and his Mass Mutual East Division starting is Nick Backstrom at center, Pasternak and Panarin on the wings, Chara and Carlson on D, Varlamov in goal. Who would be your Scotia North Division starting six in the virtual fictional All-Star game? You and I love Sims so much.
Yeah, that's right. Connor McDavid obviously is there. I guess we have to go winger on each side. Is that what we're looking at? Because if we didn't, I'd throw Draisaitl in there. So I would go Marner, Matthews, McDavid. Mind you, that's probably what I would do up front if we're not going to put Draisaitl in as the center. Yep. And then I would honestly give Darnell Nurse some love on the back end. I think Nurse has been absolutely terrific. I'd probably go something like maybe I get crazy and go Nurse and Petrie. Like Jeff Petrie's having a phenomenal season as well. And then between the pipes, I'd still go with Connor Hellebuck. I think Hellebuck's just a phenomenal goalie in Winnipeg and really gives them an advantage, I think, especially over the Oilers and the Canucks. And, well, we'll see what happens with the Flames and Markstrom. But, yeah, that's what I would lay out. I think that's a fun little task, though. I like that.
A lot of fun. You could spend a lot of time going by division through that. And by the way, the reason he put Panarin on left wing is I said you can't put Crosby to left wing. He's like, okay. So he went with Artemi Panarin, who isn't even playing right now. But Dustin, keep it up. Enjoy the game tonight. We're following everything you do and loving it. I appreciate the time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. Have a good rest of your show.
TSN 1260 Edmonton's Dustin Nielson. We got a sports update coming up. More on Babcock to Montreal. It's not happening, but it's a rumor. He's meeting with the Habs today. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook. And 24-hour sports talk live now at rodpedersen.com/listen-live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Would you mind, Clark, calling up the Moncrief photo for a second. I think, remember this, everybody, episode number 434 of the RP Show on this Wednesday, March 3rd, and the year of our Lord, 2021, will go down as the perfect show. And Lord, don't strike me down. Touch wood. But look, we got NFL players dropping by, dropping off gear, dropping off signed photos. I understand his Rams photo went to you, Clark. We got to switch that. But our interviews have been great with John Scott, Alan May, and Dustin Nielson. Been a lot of love going on and circulated around here. This is like the perfect show. It's not like we've had bad shows, but just feels good. Good vibes going on in here today. Just before a sports update from the comment wall here, Jason Bisick in Red Deer says, "Hey Rod, how about an NHL All-Star sim game?" I'm down. How about you guys? We got nothing else to do. Oh, wait a minute. We got dub to do. Well, somebody can run an NHL All-Star sim. But let's vote on those teams. You could spend a lot of time doing that. It's fun. James in Borden, Manitoba says, just wait till Scheifele and Dubois are both playing at their top level. Scheifele always plays out of his mind in the playoffs. And last year, Dubois did the same thing. If we could get them both firing at the same time, look out. Well, Matthew Tkachuk said otherwise last year. Roxanne from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions says, great show. Yeah, we got to send a Rockstar hat to John Scott, I think. He was the best. Jennifer Illingworth, the Oilers fan, writes in. She says, the only bad show is the ones I miss. We're introducing Ron Duguay to the under 30 crowd today. That's the other thing, by the way. I can't believe these young guys that work here, didn't even know who Ron Duguay was. That happened today, Clark. Let's not forget. Ron Dugay's become a thing again. He thinks it's hilarious that we said all the ladies in the senior homes just perked up when they heard the name Ron Duguay. There it is, John Bon Jovi before there was John Bon Jovi, okay? Look at that guy. Look at that hair. God, I admire him. That's cool. By the way, Benny Stein, who was reporting that Mike Babcock's meeting with the Montreal Canadiens today, Benny has written me and said, please make sure that Puck Authority won. The Puck Authority were the ones that broke the news, not Benny. He wants you to know that. And Chris Bird in Toronto says, if an Anglophone coach helps them win a Stanley Cup, who cares? You got it, Chris. That's what we're all saying. But it's long been a rule of thumb, an unwritten rule in Montreal, that if you coach the Canadiens, you have to speak French, or both languages at the very least. And maybe they're moving away from that rule. I mean, that kind of does handcuff you a little bit, does it not? Kyle Hall, who I'm forever indebted to, from the Broadway Hat podcast in New York, writes in. He says, awesome show today, Rod. Big fan of John Scott. And Duguay is awesome. He will be on my podcast next week. One guy good enough to come on after you. Thank you, Kyle. I was on his podcast that dropped yesterday, and I'm indebted to this guy, Kyle, in New York, because going on his show has been like rocket fuel for this show. Just yeah, it's been great. I love it. A lot of good vibes going around. Dylan McDonald says, I'm 25 and know who Ron Duguay is. My dad is 60, so I know all the good music and shows and hockey/baseball stars. Yeah, well, get your dad in here to teach these guys. Clark's dad's watching Rod Monroe. He says, Duguay had a great flow. You want to tell Clark that, Rod? These guys were like, Ron Duguay is following us? It's Ron Duguay. Sports update, a greatly reduced Raptors team will host the Detroit Pistons tonight in Toronto's home of Tampa, Florida. Starters Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, and OG Anunoby are out as part of the NBA's health and safety protocols, as are Patrick McCaw and Malachi Flynn. Head coach Nick Nurse will also miss the game, with assistant Sergio Scariello taking on the coaching duties. Sergio 1-0, by the way, as coach of the Raps. Oilers forward Alex Chiasson will miss tonight's game against the Maple Leafs after being suspended for one game by the NHL for cross-checking Toronto forward Jimmy Vesey on Monday. I'm saying it's not for cross-checking. It's for being stupid. Why would you do that when the game's over? It wasn't even at the end of the game. It was well after the end of the game. Dumb. A lot of times they're not even calling that a penalty, and now he gets suspended for a game, and I agree with it. By the way, viewer Corey Mark says, do I want to bet lunch on the game tonight? Sure. He says, go Leafs, go. Yes, I'll go down that road. I'll bet on the Oilers tonight. He sent us some stars. Thank you. Facebook star. Yeah, I'll bet you, but I'm not confident, okay? Oh, yeah, the schedule's out in the Western Hockey League. East Division. Robin in Prince Albert writes, your Connor Bedard takes on the reigning defending WHL champs, the PA Raiders, 8 p.m. March 12th. So excited. Friday, March 12th on WHL Live and Access Now Television. Pats and Raiders. What are we calling them? The Holy Child? Wonder Boy? Whatever. It's going to be awesome. By the way, speaking of major junior hockey, get this one, guys. Mathieu Bizier scored twice in the first period, and Evgeny Kashnikov added a goal and an assist as the Gatineau Olympique doubled up on the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies 4-2 on Tuesday in Quebec Major Junior Hockey League play in the Gatineau bubble. Meanwhile, Jordan Spence scored his second goal of the game in overtime, and William Blackburn made 26 saves as league-leading Val-d'Or edged Drummondville 3-2 to extend its win streak to 10 games. In the Chicoutimi bubble, Hendrik Lapierre had a goal and 2 assists, and the Saguenay had 7 different skaters find the back of the net to top Baie-Comeau 7-2. And Baie-Comeau's now on a 3-game slide. And Vasily Ponomarov capped the comeback with a goal 37 seconds into the extra period. And Shawinigan erased deficits of 4-0 and 5-2 to beat Quebec for its 3rd win in a row, the Rampart. And the Blue Jays continue Grapefruit League play today with a game against the Yankees in Tampa. Toronto has 2 wins and a tie so far in spring training action. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. Moose DuPont is back for the overtime segment. It's next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpeterson.com/listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence
to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And we got Moose here as well. He's done clipping his toenails.
I got a shout out from John Scott.
Oh.
But it wasn't a good shout out.
What was it about?
Ron Duguay. He's like, you got a moose, but Duguay's better hair, better teeth, better tan.
Yeah, sorry
I'm like,
about
okay.
That was what you call a backhanded compliment.
It was a backhanded compliment.
We have so many interviews today, we haven't had time to get to the curling report yet, so I'm going to do that right now. A record prize purse has produced an elite field for the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship. 35 teams will play for their share of the $150,000 that will be on the line from March 18th to the 25th at Winsport Arena at Canada Olympic Park in Calgary, with the winning team collecting $50,000. The teams have been split into 5 round-robin pools, and the top 5 seeds in the event are the top listed teams in each pool. Here are some notes. Danielle Schmiemann is replacing Rachel Homan as John Morris's partner. Kyler Kleibrink is replacing Braden Stewart as Chaylin Kitz's partner. And Team Hawes Tardy is replacing Team Katie Cottrell, Sean Cottrell, who declined their berth. In what has been an unprecedented season for all sports, the qualifying process employed by Curling Canada for the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship has drawn praise from Own the Podium, a funding partner of Curling Canada. Curling Report sponsored by Verge Agriculture, helping farmers plan and organize their operations across every field. Try Verge's Precision Farm Tech software for free today at vergeag.com. James in Borden, Manitoba. Man, the show is over already? Basically.
I know.
We got some time left. We got about 4 minutes. Over to you.
What a day.
Over to you, Moose.
Yeah, great day. I mean, it's been fun. We talk about the game, the hockey show being so hot, right? We don't have to talk football every day. Ends up being a great hockey show, teeing up the game tonight. I'm really curious. I know we had Dustin on, and you guys are a little not very confident in that crease in Edmonton.
Why would we be?
I know. And as Leaf fans, I know Clark last game and whiffed on McDavid, saying McDavid's going to just embarrass the Leafs in game 2. You're just kind of waiting for it to happen, though, right? You're waiting for it to happen.
You're just being nice.
But that's also
shucks.
No, but that's also the damage of a hockey fan when your team hasn't won in a while. And Oiler fans do that too, right? With not a lot of recent success, where you kind of say, yeah, okay, we're really fortunate to have 2 wins, but it's going to happen now. You're just waiting for it to all blow up in your face because there's just so much history of it happening.
On the football thing, and we got a lot of people, we got a lot of football people watching right now for lack of anything else going on. You were just showing me some analytics today that last Friday's show was our most downloaded of the week for the podcast, which is the highest numbers we've ever had. And you said, well, the most podcast downloads happened on Friday. They might not necessarily be Friday's show, but it's just fun to look at the data, the analytics, because it doesn't really change what we do, but it does give you a little idea of what people like and where to go, right?
Absolutely it does. And you see when there's spikes and when there's dips. And, you know, I think in this business, you don't really want, I mean, you'd love to be redlining the whole time, right? And having peak numbers every day, but
you get worn out that way.
The ups and downs, you know, I think is what makes the show great, but also that's what you can expect in business, good days and bad days.
Jennifer Illingworth says, tonight is a must win for Edmonton. I caution you in using that term, and you don't need to listen to me, but Danny Barrett, good friend of mine, currently the running backs coach for the Houston Texans, says it's not must win until you're facing elimination if you lose. So it's not must win. The Oilers are now number 3 in Canada. Winnipeg's bumped up to number 2. So I get it. I meant to ask Dustin, are they in playoff mode now, the Oilers? Where are they? It's like, are you in lockdown looking over your shoulder, or are you chasing the taillights? Or are you just worried about today, which is probably what they should be worried about, is just tonight's game. But you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Where are you in this whole thing? And Ryan McCarthy is watching in Albany, New York, and he says, guys, has anyone volunteered or been voluntold to be branded at DuPont Media? We've got one viewer that has volunteered to step up and take the brand of DuPont Media. When's the brand going to be finished, by the way?
I'll check in soon. It's being, what do you call that?
Built,
manufactured. It's being
melded.
Yeah. It's coming next couple of weeks, I can imagine.
Did I scold you yesterday? And like, you're very timid now about branding people.
Well, I want people to know that I think branding people is like a step below slavery. Like, I think it's bad. I'm not going to brand people. Now, if you want to be branded, that's different, because people get branded like they would get a tattoo. I know that's a thing. So I'm not like, if you want to be branded, I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to say...
Force them to be.
I'm not going to force that. No, of course not. I think that's really wrong. And I think people need to know that I believe in my heart that it's wrong to force people to be branded. It's for fun.
Just clarifying that.
It's a bit.
I went home yesterday and somebody said to me, or I was thinking about somebody calling me a Karen because I was offended about being branded. What's offensive? What's being a Karen because I don't want to be branded?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, the Slapshot Sweethearts, Megan and Shannon, and another sweetheart, Rich Sutter. Thanks to a full crew today. We'll see you tomorrow. McFly, hello.